Guys, we thought we'd get you in here before the Spengler Cup. You're both going to be on that team. When do you guys leave for that? What's the timeline like?
We leave the 21st and go out to Boston for a couple days and then fly out to Switzerland.
Okay, so you got a little bit of time.
Got like a week, yeah.
Week before taking off. Thoughts on participating in the tournament? This is kind of a new thing, first time for college hockey to be part of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great for all the players there. You know, like you'll be playing against professional players and professional teams, so I think it'll be a great experience for us and a big challenge, right? Like how we can do against those pro teams. So I think all of us is excited to be there, and it's great that Zem is there too, so at least know someone, and yeah, it'll be great week. So yeah.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I think it'll be a good, hopefully, like show where college hockey's at, and hopefully perform well over there. And I've heard it's a really fun tournament. My dad talks about it all the time. He played in '02 and never stops talking about it, so it should be a lot of fun.
Really? What has he said? What stood out?
He said it's just like it's one of the coolest hockey environments. Like, it's a small town. Everybody's there for hockey. He said it's kind of similar to like a state tournament feel, is what he described it as.
I didn't know anything could be comparable to the Minnesota State.
I didn't know that either, but he said in Europe that's what it feels like. So.
No, I would say just like being.
Are you familiar with this tournament at all, Kyle?
Yeah, because like there's like the oldest tournament in Europe, and the second oldest one is in my hometown. But you can compare those two. Obviously, like that one is a lot better. But just like the fans in Europe, like it's just so different, right? I feel like that so many fans in USA. I don't want to say like just come to the ring, you know, like to just enjoy the game, but like in Slovakia and like especially like everywhere in Europe and in Davos, like fans like just cheer, you know, like I would say you can see like student section is like the whole ring is like a student section, right? So it's just very different how it works there than compared to here. So yeah.
You excited to kind of bring all these college guys, a lot of Americans and such, over to Europe to experience this?
I mean, yeah, like especially like Davos during Christmas, like it's very small town but really beautiful, like just, you know, mountains everywhere around. So yeah, my dad with my neighbor are coming, and they are, you know, they'll have a great week, just enjoy it, and they'll go ski and stuff. So yeah, there is a lot to do.
Have you played in this rink before?
No.
No? Okay. I didn't know how much crossover there is. You know, we always hear like Europe, you guys over there, travel countries.
It's probably like, yeah, like 9 hours or something like that from Slovakia, so pretty close, but never been in that town, so yeah.
How familiar are either of you with some of the teammates you're going to have on
I would say I've played or been familiar with probably half of them. I don't know about Io, but I played with them in different teams and stuff, so it's kind of fun.
You don't know,
I played with one guy in Green Bay, but that's it. I know them, know a lot of guys.
I know some of the guys just playing with them, other teams and stuff.
So how did they approach you guys about taking part in this team? How did you both end up kind of? Can you take us through what that process was?
Guy Godowski just called me and said, "You want to come play for the team?" Yeah, that's pretty much that easy. Yeah.
Yeah, same with me. After one of the practices, I had 3 missed calls, and I was like, "Who is that?" And then I saw the text from him. So I just talked to him, and he asked, "You want to join?" I was like, "Oh, of course, yeah." So yeah.
So, Guy, you're gonna have some family over there and friends at the game.
Yeah.
Sam, any of them coming over to?
They had already planned on being at the World Juniors, so I don't blame them.
Oldest kid once again getting left behind here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You cause trouble.
As the oldest child who gets left behind for younger brothers all the time, I sympathize, relate to Sam.
Unrelated to that, Adam, you have faced goalies from Latvia, Belarus, your own country, Slovakia, so far this year. You have another one coming in here from Slovakia this weekend. What's this like seeing kind of the European influence in college hockey, especially with goalies?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Like, I was just doing an interview about it a week ago, and there are so many goalies from Slovakia in college hockey, which is great. I think there are just 4 in NCHC, which it's great for Slovak hockey, and it's a huge credit for Jan Lašák, he's director of goaltending in Slovakia. And I mean, for me, obviously, like, everyone from USA is, you know, dreaming about playing college hockey since they are kids. But for me, I didn't know anything about college hockey like 5 years ago, right? And I feel like at the goalie camps he was doing, he talked about it as an option, and he's the biggest reason why so many goalies from Slovakia made it to college hockey and are successful. So I can see it with other countries too, but especially with Slovakia. I mean, we might have 8 goalies in college hockey right now, which is insane. So yeah.
I think the old saying is, Beaver, you beat our Arizona State this weekend. What do you guys remember about the 6 games you played against them last year?
They're fast and skilled and like to get up and down the ice, and they ended our season last year, so there's a little bit of bad blood going into this one.
Adam, what about you? I know you didn't play in all those games, but 6 games that probably could have gone, any of them could have gone either way.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I play against them just in the playoffs because I had injury, so that took me out for a while. But yeah, obviously not the best memories on those 2 games. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really thinking about against who we are playing. Just puck is always the same, and you have to stop it no matter what. So yeah, just don't think too much ahead, and yeah, just thinking about Friday and the puck drop. That's it. So yeah.
Do you know either of these Slovakians on Arizona State?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, obviously, like Slovakia is a really small country, so yeah, I'm pretty close with the goalie. He was backup at my second World Junior, so I know him well. So yeah, and then
With either of them growing up or anything?
yeah, I mean, like I said, Slovakia is just so small, like so. Yeah, I know those guys. So yeah.
It's rare to have a goalie play every game in this day and age. Sometimes they go back and forth, but you play every game. What's that been like compared to last season? How are you managing the physical toll so far this year?
I mean, even last year I was playing every single game until I got injured, pretty much, like around this time of the year. So so yeah, I mean, when you look at the number of games we play in college hockey, is 34. So compared to professional level, right? Like goalies are not playing every single game, but in NHL, top goalies are playing 60 games, right? So it's still nothing compared to that. So I mean, playing back-to-back games every weekend, I mean, yeah, my body is maybe not feeling great all the time, but nobody cares, right? Like no one knows how you actually feel, so you just have to be ready to play, and then you pretty much get all week to just reset and be ready. And for me, I feel like that's the huge adjustment I made compared to last year. Like I always had mindset just get better every single day and do the most I can, and I was at the rink maybe way too long last year, doing way too much stuff, and this year is everything just about being ready to play on Friday, right? So I spend less time on the ice and maybe manage it more. I still get a lot of work done, but I'm being a lot smarter than last year, and just having experience with that. And that's what goalie coach has been telling me for years, right? To like do less, but I always was like, well, I'll do everything to be better. But now I know that the most important thing is be ready on Friday, and I think I did a great job with that. So yeah.
Zan, with your line, can you compare for me the nights that you guys are buzzing and putting up 6, 7, 8, 9 points between the three of you, and then some of the nights that hasn't happened? Is that teams defending you guys differently? Is that things that you guys are doing not as well?
I think it's a combination of both. Like when we're going, we're making simple plays. I think a lot of it comes to the team we're playing, right? They do a good job of defending us. We start rushing plays, and that's what their job is, right? Try to shut us down. So I think we're doing a pretty good job of trying to manage that and figure it out through games. So yeah, it's college hockey is hard, so we're trying to figure that out.
So do you think it's more like things that you guys can control?
A lot of times it starts with stuff. We start rushing stuff that we probably can control, and we get a little wily trying to do stuff here and there. But no, we're figuring it out. So
When you guys torch a team like you did Western on Friday, going 3 for 3 on the power play, on Saturday, are you noticing, like whether it's Western or any of these other, this has happened a lot, where you guys have had a really good Friday on the power play, and it's tough to get chances on Saturday. Are you noticing your opponents changing their style up a little more, maybe not being as aggressive, not taking as many liberties?
I would say
afraid to put you guys on the
last weekend we didn't really see that. We had 3 or 4 chances on our one power play we had, and we just didn't score, right? So it ends up coming down to one shot, right? If you hit your spot, it ends up going in, and your power play looks great. So yeah, I think we just got to keep making our plays, and teams try to change it up, but at the end, it's can we make more plays than them in that power play? So
I think it's also a lot about bounces, right? Like sometimes you have empty net and you hit the post, goalie makes a great save, and our night everything goes in. So I know there's been a lot of talk about, like we are great Friday, not so much on Saturday, but I would say that at least from how I felt, like Friday we've been just a lot better team and we played great, but I felt like Western didn't really show up. And Saturday I thought we played great again, but Western just played a lot better than they did Friday. And like I said, it's game of inches, right? So something goes in, something doesn't, and that changes the game. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just been interesting to watch. Like the biggest discrepancy I've seen, I know Friday, Saturday is what everyone talks about, but it's games where you guys get power play chances, whether it's 2 or 3, and you score on them. But then it seems like teams are putting you guys on the power play less in those.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Sure if teams
that's a big thing too, right? Like
changing their styles to
more,
keep you guys off
yeah.
the power play, because you guys were, like you said, you got a lot of good looks, and it seemed like, wouldn't you say, Bruce, like Western made sure they didn't take a power play.
Yeah.
The next of the night, they were going to give you guys.
I think a lot of that comes to how we play too, right? Like when we're playing well, we cause teams to take penalties and we get more power plays. So, yeah, it's just how the games go.
On the flip side, Scott often talks about timely saves, and guys made a lot of those when games are tied or one goal lead throughout this season. Made a couple of them in Western. How big a boost is that on the bench?
It helps tremendously, right? Like you're like, all right, we survived that one. Let's make sure we dial it in a little bit here. So, yeah, I know it's been great to have him back there and making saves for us.
Do you let yourself think about that, Adam, about after you make the save, about how big it could be in the flow of the game?
I mean, yeah, like I said, I mean, everyone will say that, but I feel like this year I truly feel like just focus on the next shot, right? Like, don't really think about it. I mean, if it's, that save I made at the end of the first period or some shot from blue line, like it's still just one save, right? And if I don't make it, it's goal, it's the same goal. So, yeah, for me, just focusing on every single shot, like it was the biggest chances they have all game, and yeah, just giving guys chance to win a game. And yeah, there have been some save that I made some good save, and we scored right of it. So yeah, it's been great so far, and hopefully we can keep it going like that.
In honor of Coach Sandlin's 1,000th game on the Bulldogs bench, do you guys have any favorite Sandlin memories in your time so far as a Bulldog?
I don't know if I can be talking about some of those, but I can think of some from last year, but I don't know, I'll probably keep them for myself. I bet Zem has some good ones.
Oh, yeah. I don't know which ones I can say in public, but no, they're great. He's been fun on the bench this year. He's got some snarky comments, which are fun to hear, and just good to have him back there supporting us all the time. So.
Is he a little different on the bench this year compared to last year?
Yeah, you can notice it too, right? Like it's.
I mean,
different,
I'm not on the bench, so I can't say during the game, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like obviously we are winning, so he's in a lot better mood, and I don't want to say he's a different person than last year, but for sure, like, I would say like just as a team we're a lot closer, and just even in practice just work a lot harder and doing the right stuff all the time. So I mean, he still gets on us when he needs to, like he knows when's the right time, and don't just let us do whatever because we won some games, but no, he's in a lot better mood than last year. Obviously we are the reason for it, right? Like we got a lot better compared to last year, so that helped him, just be, happier. So yeah, it's been great this year, and like Zem said, he had a lot of funny comments and stuff. So yeah,
it seems like he's having more fun because we're able to win, work hard for him. So I think it's fun to have him back there having a lot of fun. So
yeah.
What's the experience for you, especially having grown up around this program, been like playing for him versus what you knew about him before you got here to play?
I mean, my dad warned me pretty good, so I had an idea coming in. But no, it's just he wants to win more than anybody here, and he has fun winning and coming to the rink every day and making he's probably one of the hardest workers we have, or if not the hardest worker, when he's in there watching video every day trying to do everything we can to be better. So it's fun to have a leader like that, and it's great when we're winning because it makes you can see it on him. He's a lot more, I say, fun to be around and happy and having fun. So it's great.
Good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can you next still go at like
I hear you're thrilled to talk about this. Game 1000 coming up on Friday. What are your thoughts on hitting that milestone and what it means?
I know I haven't really given it much thought, to be honest with you. He's been around. I still laugh because I always go, Jerry York had 1,200 wins. I'm like, Jesus, those guys have been around a long time. No, it's pretty cool, but a lot of people to thank for that, right? Players, coaches, administration for allowing me to keep doing it. So, yeah, it's good. Just want to win it. That's all. I want to win on Friday.
Is there, not counting, because obviously you have the national championships, not going to be championship, I'm wondering if there's a game that, I know it's tough out of 1,000 to narrow it down to one, but is there a game that's still, maybe an under the radar game for people that stands out to you in your career?
But under the radar. No, I can't sit here and pick one. I mean, obviously winning in 11 was a great feeling for the program, obviously community, right? More importantly, our players. And doing something for the first time was pretty cool. So you can't, I don't know how you can, not have that as one of the top moments that certainly you remember. There's so many games and so many things you go through when, you're coaching. And but those are, all three of those, and it's just more of the players. I think that's been the thing that keeps you going, right? We've had a lot of great players here, great people. I can honestly say that we haven't had a lot of bad people, right? And that's what makes it fun to be around those guys. Yeah, you're not going to win every year, and you're going to have ups and downs and all that stuff, but very thankful for the staff. I think that's probably one of the things that I've gotten better at. You got to hire people that are good fits. It's no different than recruiting. People that can complement your weaknesses. Guys that, you look at a lot of the guys that have coached here, right? Lars, I took him out of medical sales. Grossi, I took him out of pro hockey. Hertz was 9 years. Rawls, almost 10, Lee Davidson. All those guys, right? And, obviously our current staff is tremendous with Brant and Cody and Adam. So makes it fun to come to work. Obviously the other people, Sue's been with me for a long time, Guernsey, CK. It's a really fun family, to kind of be around, right? Because you're around them a lot, as my wife says. You're around them more than you're around me, but that's what makes it. That's what I remember, like, just very thankful to be around a lot of really good people that kind of deal with my shit too, right? I'm not gonna lie, but it's been fun. And then for me too, like being around as long as I have, just going to the golf thing every year and seeing all of our alums, and I've coached a lot of those guys, but just even the older guys, and just that's been a really positive thing too, to get together with those guys and tell stories and different things, so, and get to know a lot of the alumni better. So that's been a really good thing. I'm really glad I started that when I got here, because it's become an annual event too, and I think our alumni have been great. Just a lot of people to thank. Certainly, probably Bob Corin too for hiring me, right? So that's pretty cool. Took a chance on a younger coach, and I'd be remiss to not thank Dean Blaze. Dean gave me an opportunity, not only as a player but as a coach, and wouldn't be here probably without him.
What's it meant? You mentioned you had a couple staff members. You had Sue's and Garnsey's been with you. CK's been with you for a while now. Hoagie obviously has more than 1,000 games.
Well, I told him he had a lifetime contract back when I got hired. So
I was gonna say this is your 1,000th game.
You know that story, right?
Yeah.
When he hung up on me after I told him he's got a lifetime contract. So that's all I needed to hear. So.
What's it meant to have staff members like that have stuck with you?
Well, it means a lot. It means we have a special thing here, right? Again, everybody wants to win, but again, we're around each other every day, and I think we enjoy each other's company, and they're great for me, and hopefully I have been good for them too. But you don't do it alone. You have to have great support staff, and I've been very blessed to have great people. I think Sue's one of the best athletic trainers I've ever been around. We've been hiring interns over the years. We've had a lot of great ones there, and you just look at what she's done with some of the people that have worked for her, right? Where they've gone, the jobs they've gotten, but she's as good as it gets when it comes to that. And Guernsey, he's kind of the old dusted too when it comes to it, but and CK does a lot of stuff. Like that position's grown. We hired him as a video guy, right? And I think video is probably lower on the totem pole now because he's doing so many of the administrative things and takes a lot of things off my plate and does a really good job, very organized. So it's a team thing. It's, again, you don't do it without a good team, and I've been very lucky to have a lot of great people.
What advice would you have for longevity? It's getting harder and harder for coaches, I think, in any sport. What advice would you have for young coaches getting into the profession and wanting to have a long, prosperous career? You surround yourself with good people.
Well, it always starts with that, right? Because you, like I said, you're around. You come to work every day with those people. Sometimes it's 7 days a week, and you want to be around good people. But you also want people that are going to push you too and help you and make you grow. And it's no different than your players, right? You want to have good kids that you want to be around, that are very driven, that want to work, that want to be in your program. It's not just the hockey, it's growing them as people, and it's, you want them to graduate, you want them to get, a degree, and you want, at the end of it, you want them to be in a great position to do whatever they want to do and be successful at it, whether it's playing hockey or going into the business world or getting a job, raising a family, all those things, right? That's what kind of this is all about, right? And so, yeah, I mean, you just don't do it without, one person doesn't do it. And like I said, for about the 5th time, I've been very lucky to be around a lot of good people that have helped me too.
I got your thought more on the talking tomorrow. When you met him for the first time about the shot.
When I met him,
Yeah.
I don't know. He's probably going to talk about, because he always talks about me with this, when we beat them in North Dakota, and I was going on the road recruiting after the Saturday game, and I think that he said that stuck in his brain, right? I think we won like 8-1 and won 2 games, and was driving up to Yorkton or something to go recruiting, and just, I think that kind of stuck with him, which is kind of cool. You never know, right? That's the funny thing in this world. You meet people or you see people, and that's the one thing that he talked about. But yeah, I just, again, Dean pushed. Again, we had a lot of success at North Dakota, which helped. He let me grow there too, and like I said, I wouldn't be here without him giving me that opportunity and teaching me a lot of things and letting me grow as an assistant coach. And he did the same thing when I was playing for him and Gino and Marksy, right? Dean recruited me there, and so we have a very special relationship. And so I'm sure he had a lot to do with it. If Bob talked to Dean, so I got to thank him too for probably being in my corner.
One of the things I enjoy doing every week is talking to the other coach where we're going to play. And whether it's Greg Powers or Chris Mayock or Dave Jackson, anybody, praise you as a coach. A lot of them praise you as a person as well. Garrett Lemoyne comes to mind. The conversation we had with Augustana. What's it mean to hear that? It's one thing, the coaching side, but to have so many coaches talk about you as a human being and what you meant to them.
Probably means more than the coaching part, right? And again, it kind of falls right in line with what I've been talking about. We have good people here. You want to be around good people. They help you grow. You want to be around good players, good kids. They help you grow. And again, like, you don't really know that. Like, you just, again, thank my parents for giving me good values, I guess, and bringing me up the right way. But no, that means probably more than anything, because I think that's winning and losing and all that stuff is how a lot of people measure coaches, but it goes way deeper than that to me, and that's why I say it's fun getting together with all of our guys at the golf thing. And they're always like, "Oh, Sandy, remember when you said this?" No, I don't, but they bring it up, right? They would never bring it up when they're playing, but when you're having a couple of beers there, but it's fun to be around that, right? And again, just hearing from those guys, and you know, getting texts during the season too, you know, like, you know, that, you know, what, and you have some guys too that are calling you for, you know, their references for jobs, and so a lot of those guys are pretty easy to give references to. But, you know, I think all those things make you feel pretty good that at least you had somewhat of an impact, maybe a positive impact on them. I'm sure there's some that would say it didn't, but that's okay. You know, that's okay.
What do you remember about last year at Arizona State? 6 games, the older team that they had, but those were 6 games that could have gone really either way.
Yeah, it was a really good, you know, series, I guess, right? I just remember it, you know, certainly the playoffs too. I thought we played well enough to win. Obviously, we didn't. Very disappointing, because I think our kids played their hearts out and, you know, gave everything that we could. I remember Zam's line being very, very good. I thought Dom was outstanding. But I just thought our team, you know, given the fact that it was a tough year, they were ready to go and they did not want to lose. And they put it all on the line, and unfortunately they got some goals that probably we'd like to have back. And, you know, I think, you know, even with Adam, right, I think that was very humbling for him too. And, you know, that's what we talked about that early in the year, and how he's going to respond. And you look at the year he's having. So, yeah, I expect the same thing. They play a lot like Western, very get after it, go north. Obviously a lot of new players there too this year, but they're a good team. They're a good team that's playing well right now too.
Western had more zone time Saturday and Friday, but they still didn't get a lot of off-hand rushes. How do you think you handled their transition game?
Saturday was tough. I didn't think we got to where we needed to be positionally, and they were just getting pucks up the rink, which we knew they were going to do. It's kind of the way they finished Friday too, and you know, we were prepared for it. It would just it's how they like to play. The puck doesn't spend much time in their D zone, especially on breakouts, and they were stretching the zone like they always do, and, you know, getting 2-3 guys high and trying to catch us, you know, on transition. And, you know, we got lucky a couple times, but it wasn't as good as Friday. We were much better, I think, through the neutral zone, just in all 3 zones Friday than we were Saturday. And I thought the first period Saturday was big-time hockey. I thought it was a really good period for both teams. I really liked our period. And I just felt when we didn't score on the power play, it turned a little bit. Thought the momentum kind of, where it was probably back and forth and nobody really had it, I thought they grabbed it, you know, where we had a chance to, you know, if we score on a power play, you know, we go up 2-0. But they made some adjustments, you know. Hurdy's PK, they pressured. We didn't see 3-point pressure off face-off. They pressured more, so it kind of caught us off guard, and we never got on track. Probably a good thing there was only 1 power play. But that's where I kind of felt it turned a little bit. But yet we get a big goal from Cal. And, again, we're leading going into the 3rd period, and, again, we got to find ways to close out those games.
The last 8 minutes, I think, of the 3rd period were 3 shot attempts. I mean, we're doing 2 shot attempts, 1 each way, didn't get on net.
Mm-hmm.
There was a whistle for the last, 6.5 minutes of the 3rd period. What do you think of it? It didn't feel like 6.5 minutes of hockey, like watching it happen
Yeah.
live. It was just weird. Nothing happened, but it happened really quick.
Yeah, everything happens quick in there, right? Yeah, I mean, it was. I felt like we were trying to. We were a little bit on our heels. We weren't pushing offensively. I kind of felt like we were hanging on a little bit, and we did hang on enough to get a point. You know, and again, they carried that over in the overtime. You know, we started with possession, but after that, we never had it. So, you know, again, give them credit. They're a good hockey team. You know, 4 of 6 points on the road is good, especially in that building. But again, we've been in a position 2 or 3 times with a lead going in the 3rd, and it's like I told the guys, this is why you play, right? And this is hopefully how over the course of the year you grow and you learn and you figure stuff out. And again, the good thing is we're in those positions. We just got to find, ways to close them out. Hopefully, we're going to continue to be in those. I'll take those all the time. I'll take being in those positions. I'll take winning Friday and be in the position the rest of the year, because that means we're doing a lot of good things.
Paul, you talked about this last couple of weeks, but having Harper back, what does that do? What does he add to your lineup?
Well, he's got a lot of versatility because he can play up and down our lineup. He can play on right or left. I think the first game back after the injury, he played well. I think Saturday he probably felt it a little bit, which is not uncommon when you've been off that long. But I think this past weekend he's kind of getting back to where he wants to be, and certainly gives us more depth and a guy that everyone likes playing with, because he's very predictable. He's keeps plays alive. He's not afraid to go to the hard areas. Obviously, nice to see, the goal, and good for him. So again, I think he's getting back. Now it's been 4 games, so I think, that's a good sign for us. But he certainly gives us, we can move him in a lot of different spots, and I think that helps too.
You talked a lot about your top power play. You got the second unit.
Mhm.
Has been good, and they got a couple goals. What do they do differently compared to the top unit? It feels like they have a different.
Well, we changed it. We added Hunter and moved Aaron to the top where he's been, where he was kind of playing in some different spots, and Seep was up there, and Hunter brings a really good stick. He's really good down low. He can shoot it. It was just a couple tweaks, and you know what? All week they were good. They were good. So it's not surprising for me to watch what they did in practice and then have success on the weekend. I'm really glad they did, because they deserve that, because they were probably our best power play during the week. And sometimes just making a couple little changes adds a little different dimension or spark or whatever energy you want to call it. But they were good all week, and it carried over, and it was good, because I think Kurtz even said to Krause that we didn't really pay much attention to your second power play, right? So I think it's just good for those guys to get rewarded. They had, again, when you have a good week, and you go into something probably more confident and they get rewarded, that's good. And it's good for us because we can't just rely on one. So hopefully that keeps going. It was one weekend, but they were good again yesterday. So hopefully that's a benefit to us, because maybe throwing them out there first once in a while is not a bad thing either. Good?
Thanks, Scott. Yep.